What's going on, guys? How you doing? This is a TFG Sports Media Report. I'm your sports guy, Kendrick, and we're talking ESPN talk show personality. Bart Scott has some interesting things to say about how teams should look at picking players. But before we get to those details, click like and subscribe to TFG Sports Media here on YouTube. Flip over to Facebook, click that thumbs up button for Kendrick Sports Hustle page. Well, we're a week removed from the NFL draft, which was last Thursday, and former Ravens and former Jets linebacker Bart Scott went on his radio show and had some interesting thoughts about how players should be chosen by teams. He was speaking specifically on the Packers choosing Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia in the first round, who actually had a little bit of some criminal issues. Back in 2020, he was charged with a misdemeanor criminal trespass for allegedly kicking the door of a woman he lived with at the time. Well, Bart Scott said you need some of those type of players, some with a little shaky background, to make your team tougher. Take a listen to his comments on that.
But you have to be able to get some tough guys, and everybody can't be choir boys. You know, when I was with the Ravens, we had to make sure that we had at least two people on the team with a couple felonies just to make sure our street cred was right when we had to go in these back alleys and have some of these dog fights. Sometimes you got to have some people that's not no choir boys. That's why you have a strong locker room to hold them in check.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with the felonies.
I said, the funniest sign I've ever seen in my life was 52 plus 31 equals 10 to 20. It was Ray Lewis plus Jamal Lewis equals 10 to 20 in prison. So listen, you got to have some guys with Terrell Suggs be the dude with a stop sign coming out of Arizona State. You know what I mean? You got to have a couple guys like that. We can clean them up. We can get them counseling, but you got to have a couple of goons, and you definitely got to have some goo goblins, and you got to get a couple.
Oh, boy.
Now you can hear Scott's co-host on the show say, oh, wait a minute, felonies. But Bart Scott kept going. Now Scott is speaking from a place of experience. He spent the first 7 years of his NFL career with the Ravens from 2002 to 2008. And two of his teammates at that time, Ray Lewis, who was initially charged with murder in a 2000 case, but before later pleading guilty to obstruction of justice, and Jamal Lewis, who was sentenced to 4 months in prison on a drug-related charge, which he served in the 2005 offseason. Now, I know the NFL probably did not like for Scott to say we like players with felonies on their record, but does he have a point? Did he cross the line? I'd like to know what you think of Scott comments on how NFL teams should choose players. Leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to TFG Sports Media right here on YouTube. This has been your sports guy, Kendrick, with a TFG Sports Media Report. Until next time, I'll see you on the other side. I'm out. Peace.